In this DIY, I'm going to be fueling one of my favorite pastimes, fire and fire pits. We're going to be building a brick fire pit with a steel liner, and we're making use of this area behind me, which definitely needs an upgrade. I'm focusing on the fire pit first because that's the fun part. Let's get started. The components that I'm going to be using for this fire pit is a steel fire pit as a liner. I'm making use of a steel liner because I'm not using fire bricks or refractory cement. If you're not going to be using a liner, you must use fire bricks and refractory cement. That way it'll stay protected from the heat and the cement won't crack in time nor crack the bricks. I've got some bricks, which is going to be some more for decorative feature. I've got a cutout here, which I'm going to be using as my template to make sure that I keep my bricks in a perfect ring. I've got a trowel, rubber mallet, a tape measure, a spade. I've got some stones behind me and some concrete mix, which I'm going to be using as my foundation. And I've got some of this fire sealant 1200 degrees adhesive. Now this is perfect for gluing the bricks together as we stack them. You can use mortar, but that's a much more difficult DIY to do. This is the foolproof way and the cheating way. So I'm definitely going to use this to glue the bricks together. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is mark out the perimeter of the fire pit. I've taken into account the diameter of the existing fire pit that I have. I've allowed a bit of a space and a clearance around the edge, and then I've taken into account the thickness of the bricks. I'm going to mark this perimeter out using a peg, some string and a pencil. Pencil is just to describe the floor. If you are going to be working on grass, you can make use of spray paint to mark the area out for you. Now that my perimeter is marked out, I'm going to dig out that soil to around about 150 mils deep. I've got that to the depth that I want. I'm happy with that. I'm going to tamper that down, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing with a 50 mils deep of crushed gravel. My gravel's in, packed nice and tight. I'm now going to start off with my concrete mix ring all the way around the edge of the perimeter, thick enough for the bricks to sit on for the first row. I'm using a ready mix bag of concrete. If you want to find out more, check out our clip on how to lay a concrete slab. Now the fun part of DIYs is getting down and dirty. Stick your hands in, check the consistency, make sure there's not too much water. It should stick together basically like a soft mud ball. Remember those days. It's now time to start laying our first row of bricks. Now, this is when the template really comes in handy. Basically, we'll put it in, just put a couple of bricks just to raise it up slightly. And then we're going to place our bricks down. If you do have gaps, just evenly space the gaps. The gaps are actually good because it creates ventilation, allowing air and oxygen into that fire. Once you've got all the bricks into place, gently tap down each brick into position and check the level with a spirit level. Once you set the first row of bricks in the concrete, allow at least 24 hours for it to set before applying the second row. That's looking great. My fire pit's starting to come to life. I've allowed that first row of bricks to set in the concrete, and now I'm going to start gluing on the second row, making use of my template to ensure that I keep that perfect diameter. As you can see, I'm placing the bricks across from one side to the other. It creates a stronger structure that way. At this stage, it's a good idea just to have a quick look around and make sure you're happy with the look of each one of those bricks. Every brick is different. Make sure you're happy with the texture and the structure of each one. You've got the first row in. Now it's time to apply the adhesive. The only preparation you need to do on the brick is just to dust off any excess dust on the mating surfaces before you apply the adhesive. Do one brick at a time and work your way all the way around to the end. When applying this adhesive, apply it in thin strips, not a big blob. It needs air around it to cure. That way the air can actually penetrate all the way through and secure it from all sides. Otherwise the adhesive is not going to cure. Gentle tap down into position and move over to the next brick. It's imperative to clean the bricks to ensure a good bond of the adhesive between the mating bricks. So take extra care to remove any dust. Now repeat this exact process until you reach the desired height of your fire pit. As you go around each brick layer, just prop in another brick on the center to raise your template. That's my last brick into place. All I need to do now is pop in the fire pit liner and wait 48 hours for that adhesive to cure. I used a total of 2 tubes to do this whole fire pit. My fire pit is finished. I'm very happy with it and I can't wait to get it alight. Although I have created more DIYs for me to do behind here and I must get stuck into that. Hopefully this will motivate me to get stuck into it. That's it from this DIY guy. Over to you. Enjoy your DIYs. Most importantly, be amazing and love the DIY therapy. If you like this clip, like it, share it. You can also subscribe to our Builders YouTube channel where there's a range of DIY projects just like this, as well as product reviews.